Hey everybody, how's it going? So, Jeremy from Insight Check put out a video yesterday about whether or not you could, with the Warcaster feat, cast a spell on an ally who ran past you, so long as the spell had a casting time of an action. Chris, Treantmonk, put out a reaction video to that video this morning, and I, jokingly, actually said in the comments that I was going to do a reaction to his reaction video. And even though I wasn't really serious, enough people responded and liked that comment that, gosh dang it, now I feel compelled to actually do a reaction to the reaction, so here we are. This is just pretty much off the cuff and largely unedited, but let's go. Can you do this? What we're basically asking here is, can you make an opportunity attack against an ally? And I mean, I've read all of the arguments for and against this a long time ago. I formed my own opinion about things back then, and I made a short video about it, which you can watch up there. And my ideas haven't really changed since then. I've had conversations with Chris and with Jeremy and with other content creators who shall go unnamed unless they decide to name themselves. So trust me, it's not that I'm unaware of some gotcha piece of evidence that would sway me one way or the other in the rule books here. In a nutshell, I can boil my thoughts down to something like this. Even though they left out the word hostile in the 2024 description of opportunity attack, I think the fact that it's still called an attack means that it is intended for enemies, not friends. You don't attack your friends. Not if you're a good friend, anyways. So yeah, I think the change implying that you can make an opportunity attack against an ally was an unintentional mistake on Wizards of the Coast's part when they were writing the 2024 books, and that if you asked the designers of those books if you could make an opportunity attack against an ally, they would say no. I am 99% confident of that. I think Chris says something to that effect near the end of his reaction video, and I'm pretty much on the same page with him there. Now, as to the question of whether or not you should allow this at your table, regardless of the designer's intent or your interpretation of rules as written, I fall into the realm of do whatever people at your table want to do, as long as you have a conversation about it and you're all on the same page. If it's fun for you or not fun for you, then make the ruling accordingly. I don't really think it breaks the game either way. That said, I do think it potentially creates some potent and powerful player options. And that is where I kind of get to a place where I maybe disagree a little bit with Chris here. He said in that reaction video that he didn't really want Wizards of the Coast to make a ruling here because you can't tell me what to do. No, I'm not paraphrasing. That is an exact quote. I, on the other hand, really, really want WotC to come out with a ruling here, and it's not because I like having people tell me what to do, unless you're my wife. But the reason is fairly selfish. On my channel, I mostly make character builds for D&D, and when I do so, I try really hard to mostly work within what I think are rules as written and rules as intended, right? The few exceptions I make there are based on what I think the vast majority of tables do, at their table, based on some research, based on some polling. If WotC were to come out and say that, yes, you can take the Warcaster feat and hit an ally with a spell as they run past you, then I want to know so that I can work it into a build that most people will be able to use at their table. Otherwise, nobody's going to watch it. I want to make a Pact of the Blade Warlock with some rogue levels who casts an Eldritch Smite infused booming blade coupled with sneak attack on their Rune Knight ally as that Rune Knight ally runs past, so that the Rune Knight can then activate their Cloud Rune, causing the attack to hit a nearby enemy who takes a bunch of damage and automatically gets knocked prone thanks to Eldritch Smite, so that the Rune Knight can run up to that enemy still on their turn and have advantage on all of their great sword, great weapon master attacks since the enemy's already prone. But until WotC says, yeah, you can do that, then I'm not going to do it in my builds because I want to build stuff that most people watching can use. So listen up, everybody. Let's make a bunch of noise around this so that WotC feels compelled to rule, shall we? My longtime viewers will remember way back at the beginning of the channel when I used to argue that taking the custom lineage race should allow you to make a half-elf, half-dwarf character who could thus, since they have some elf in them, take the elven accuracy feat. A lot of people agreed with me. A lot of people disagreed with me. Some people accused Chris of being the one who was arguing for that interpretation.
I happen to have the other opinion, and I was told that I had said that.
It was you. You're like, no way.
Like, there's no way I said that. I don't know how you came up with that.
And it was just hilarious because I saw that, and at first, of course, I was like, Treantmonk replied to one of my videos, and then it was like, oh crap. Like, I felt like I'd been caught by the rules as written police or something like that.
But I asked people to like storm Twitter trying to get a ruling from Jeremy Crawford on it, and finally enough people did, and he responded. Alas, he responded in the negative that no, that was gimmicky and cheesy and you couldn't do that, so I had to eat some humble pie. That's a fun trip down memory lane if you want to watch that video. But that's okay. At least we got a ruling. I say we do the same thing here. So Kelly and Monty, Will, Ginny, Antonio, Bob, somebody. Let's keep this reaction chain going. It will be a nuclear chain reaction. I want to see a reaction video to my reaction video to Chris's reaction video to Jeremy's video. If everyone gets involved, it will be both hilarious and will hopefully prompt a response from Wizards of the Coast. Ideally, a funny one, like they're in on the joke. And maybe us content creators can like make a prediction on how we think that WotC will eventually rule. Everyone pick a side, Captain America Civil War style. And like the losers make a donation to a charity picked by the winners here or something. I don't know. Let's have fun with it. Everybody on board? Okay, let's make some noise. You guys are awesome. Love you. Have a great day.